Please sit. Why absent? Vomiting. What madam yesterday? Bunk you? Studied. Attended then lessons. Listen, no? Very good. Friends, today we'll extend the discussion about the diffraction, but with respect to circular aperture. Yesterday we have seen only single slit diffraction. I did not specify the shape of that slit, whether it is circular, rectangular, etc. I did not specify, so that some conditions for constructive interference and destructive interference we have discussed. So today, specifically, circular aperture. Here I am taking one cardboard, and what is the shape of the slit here? Perfectly circle. Perfectly circle. And in front of that, I have placed on plane of the screen. Let's say the diameter of the circular slit equal to how much? Small diameter. And what is the distance between the plane of the slit and plane of the screen equal to capital D? Just before this, one source of light I have placed the monochromatic source of light. Let's say that wavelength of the monochromatic light that you have used is lambda. You do not use any convex lens to obtain well-defined diffraction pattern. That type of diffraction is called Fresnel diffraction. Fresnel diffraction, no convex lens will be there. Fraunhofer diffraction means to obtain well-defined diffraction pattern, we have to use compulsory convex lens. So here what will happen? There is no diffraction, the light rays would go straight line, but because of the diffraction, they will bend like this. Let's say this is the angle of diffraction. Here also they will bend some angle. Then what will happen? They will undergo several interferences. So as a result, what will happen? Diffraction pattern will form. You see the screen, at the midpoint of the screen, as I discussed yesterday, central maxima will form. That is also called the central bright spot. It is also called airy disk also. Airy is a circular disk also we can call. Let's say that radius of this circular bright spot equal to R naught. If you join this, for your visibility, little bit magnified diagram I will draw. It's a airy disc circular bright spot. The diffracted light rays or diffracted light waves, after falling on the convex lens, they will be undergoing the interference like this. To join this edges, let's say the radius of this airy disk equal to, let's say, R naught. For your permission, R naught is also nothing but distance between the midpoint of the screen and first minimum. You know that value very well. That is also called radius of that central maxima, or also radius of the diameter. Here experimentally, this angular position theta. What the theta is called here? Angular position of the first minimum. Why? Because that central maxima trapped inside the first minimum. Correct or not? So what the theta is called here? Angular position of the first minimum. Theoretically, we have deduced one expression yesterday. What is the angular position of the first minimum? You know that A sine of theta equal to how much? N into lambda. Understood. So I can also write A into theta equal to how much? N lambda. As I am talking, first minima, in value, how much I have to substitute? 1 I have to substitute. So theta value how much here? Lambda by A. This is the theoretical result. What result? Theoretical result. Understood? From the max deduction only we have got that. But in the experimentally it is proved that when you can measure the radius of the airy disk wavelength if you use is exactly theta value. I mean the real result or practical result. Theta value how much here? 1.22 into lambda by A. Slightly the practical result, slightly it will exceed to the theoretical result. Understood? What is that? Theta equal to 1.22 into lambda divided by A. There just one here, 1.22 will come. And now, what is this distance from here to here? As I told you, the use of the convex lens to obtain the well-defined, high-defined diffraction pattern. Can you please tell me the distance between the convex lens and screen exactly? Think and tell logically. Brain has two parts: mechanical thinking, logical thinking. Use your logical mind and answer. What is the distance between the convex lens and this screen? I'm not theta. You can tell. You know that answer is in your subconscious memory. Think and tell. When you are using convex lens, where you have to keep the screen. Very good at point of focus. I said now. Your brain is perfect, but you are not perfect. You have to think. Understood? The brain will do its job. You are not taking. Sir, all information next only. You are not extracting. To obtain a well-defined diffraction pattern, where you have to keep exactly at the point of focus. I mean, the screen must be at the focal point of this convex lens. So it should be focal length f meter. This is f means this distance also how much? F and this distance also f meter. R naught equal to f into theta. So please concentrate on this arc only. This arc is enough. Because we are talking angular position of that first minima theta I am talking. So don't consider this total lower part, you don't need to consider. Now tell me What is the radius of that airy disk? Very, very important. What R0 is called here? Radius of the airy disk. Question, direct questions will come, friends. Radius of airy disk. Don't confuse airy disk. Airy means central maximum. The radius of the airy disk, what I can write here, R0 is equal to how much? What is length of the arc equal to? Radius of the arc into angle of the arc. So how much I can write? Focal length into theta here. So I can also write R0 value how much? F into what is the angular position of that minima? 1.22 into lambda divided by A. This is the most important value. Direct questions will come just about area disk. Similarly, what is the diameter of that area disk? Diameter of the area disk how much? 2 times that of the radius disk. You can also write how much? 2.44 into F into lambda divided by A. Diameter of this. And the area of the circular cross section also we can call. What is the area of the circular cross section? Pi into R0 square. So if you see that area of the area is how much? Pi into radius of the area is how much? Into 1.22 lambda divided by A and whole power 2. So the area of the area is how much? Pi into x square into 1.22 whole square into lambda square by A. Okay. So this is the concept of the Aries disk. Okay. Now, actually, about diffraction, some miscellaneous concepts are there. And those are direct. Have to introduce the equations. I will teach tomorrow because what is my plan? Today, if I explain polarization, at least you will practice some problems, so your score will boost up. Anyway, tomorrow you people explain. That's what that is one of the major reasons. So polarization I will explain. Here on. Actually, I have to teach solving power, microscope, telescope, something. Those are theory now. I will finish the major topic now. What is that? Polarization. So I am requesting friends, please don't miss the classes. I know you are intense on your preparation. I can understand because I am also came from student level only. I can understand how do you think. But my request, don't miss the lectures. You understand? Okay? Compulsory follow. Okay? I know everything. That kind of attitude, please leave it. Frankly, you don't know anything. You are feeling you know all the things, many things, but don't know many things. Okay? Attend the classes. Class is important. Okay? You are planning anything, but I'm telling watch the recording. That's facility also. Okay? If you are a child, if your spinal cord is paining, try and watch that. Okay, but don't miss the lecture. Okay. So now immediately next property is polarization. I think the concept of wave highly succeeded in justifying interference and diffraction. Now everyone will answer why that splitting taking place. Definitely you can justify now. Similarly, now we will try to get the justification why that light, not only light, why electromagnetic waves do not require medium. Correct or not? For a car or any vehicle to drive on the road, who has to support? Medium is compulsory. Road has to push the car forward. Correct or not? Yes or no? Without road, who is increasing energy actually for car? When the tires are rotating, the tires are trying to push the ground back. That is action. What is reaction? Ground only pushing the car backward. I mean here for the movement of after all vehicle, after all one object, some support is required. One photon coming from sun. 7 kinds of photons are there. Gamma rays, ultra rays, X-rays, visible light, infrared, micro, and radio. These many photons without support, how they are coming from the sun to our Earth planet. Not only our Earth planet, they are moving across the any corner of the universe. Why? Without any guidance, without support. Classically speaking, any object continuously in the journey means classically definitely it should be tired and it should come to rest. So what is the driven force for the photon? That or not? If I throw this marker, after traveling some distance, it will come to rest. The gravitational force or some other forces. Understood? Whereas in case of the electromagnetic photon, it is not happening. No support. No support means without medium. What is special in the photon? The speciality is what here? Polarization. For understanding. Naturally, when photon is coming, it knows it is going to lose energy. So it is bringing its own energy from the sun. What is the energy preserved in the photon? Quantum. Photon is the energy packet. The energy inside the photon is called what here? Quantum. Here the quantum is the responsible, the refueling agent for photon. Understood? Refueling agent for the photon to maintain constant speed 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second, to maintain constant energy, and even it is a unidirectional, straight little travel, no? Understood? Not even one radian also, not a deviating. What makes such a unique propagation? Magnetic field is responsible. We studied in the moving charges and magnetism to deviate from its original path, which field is playing a vital role? Magnetic force. So the magnetic field oscillations, the magnetostatic energy stored in the photon, keeping the photon to travel in the same straight line. Understood? Then what energy? Avoiding decreasing kinetic energy, making constant kinetic energy, electric field. To increase the speed, to decrease the speed, which force is responsible? Electric force is responsible to accelerate any kind of charge. So, no, like that, it is bringing. Understood? When you are coming from your house to here, how you are bringing lunch boxes, snacks boxes, photon also, when it is coming from the car, what will it bringing? It is also bringing lunch boxes. What is lunch box is called? Photon. What is lunch inside that box is called? Quantum. It is eating in middle, so it is maintaining its constant energy levels. Understood? Again, that energy it is giving to plants, it is giving to you, it is falling on you, and it is giving you vitamin D. Understood? And it is giving lot many. What more? After 1 year of job, you are lagging.
Installment. They are laughing in installment.
Lagging is understood. Clear? Okay. So I hope you understood very well. So the photon, how many kinds of energy inside the photon? 2 kinds of energy. So it has polarized energy. in the form of electric field oscillations and magnetic field oscillations. That splitting of the energy in the photon is called what here? Polarization. Now you tell me, without this polarization, without these two energies, can photon achieve this constant speed and so here, I hope you understood very well why polarization plays a very important role in the photon journey. Understood? Let us see. If you take any ordinary light, I am taking one. It's an ordinary light. Here one source is there, and here one screen is there. This is one ray of light. Ray of light always start from source to screen. Source to screen. Like walls, any obstacle acting like a screen solid. Yes or no? If you take any ordinary light, because of this kind of energy, it is highly intensive. That's what you cannot look continuously to the direct sun. So attempt to see the direct sun, what will happen? Definitely within 1 hour and 2 hours, definitely your eye will be affected very severely. You may go permanent blind off. That much sun rays, watch without doubt. 1 or 2 hours till you blind, you would see. Understood? Why? Why? Tell me. When continuously photons are colliding,
he is saying that some of them will say if we see sunlight, it's good.
are you seeing? That's what we got fixed. Are you seeing?
Ancestors told us.
They will tell only. 6 o'clock you can watch. Anyone can watch.
6 o'clock. No sunlight.
Okay. Okay, listen here. Anyway, if you look into this, so this is the one ordinary light. Ordinary light in the sense it is a unpolarized light. Unpolarized in the sense, unpolarized means two kinds of oscillations are there. When it will be polarized, when you remove the magnetic field oscillations. Understood? Ordinary light is also called what kind of light? Unpolarized light. Why I am calling unpolarized light? Both oscillations are combined. That's what, for your understanding and analyzing abilities, every ordinary light can be represented with this symbol. These perpendicular oscillations are there. What are these dots here? These vertical arrows are representing electric field oscillations. You know very well the electromagnetic wave, how many oscillations are there? One is electric field oscillations and the other one is what? Magnetic field oscillations also there. Electric field oscillations are residing in the XY plane and these magnetic field oscillations are residing in the XZ plane. Perpendicular only, na? Same thing I conveyed here on. So every ordinary light, how I can represent with the two representation. One is vertical oscillations and the other one is horizontal oscillation. Anyway, both are perpendicular each other. These oscillations you can assume electric field oscillations. What are these oscillations? Are magnetic field oscillations. If you watch directly, normally this is the view of the ordinary light. What is the name of this light? Ordinary light. It's also called UPL, means unpolarized light. Polarized means you have to remove any one of the oscillations. Polarized means you have to permit only one of the oscillations. So that's what it is called unpolarized light. That's what this light is having twice energy. That's what it is. Very harm. That's what during the noon time when you are watching live matches, people used to wear the Polaroid glasses. The welding also, during the welding, metal will melt. By the time extreme amount of radiation will be coming from that machine as well as the metal also. That radiation, that unpolarized light directly falling on their eye, definitely it is affecting severely. That's what compulsory they have to wear welding glass. Have you seen a welding glass? That those are called actually Polaroids. They will eliminate any one of the oscillations. Depends on the orientation of that Polaroid. Either electric field oscillations will be eliminated or magnetic field oscillations are eliminated. Yes or no? Understood. Only one of the oscillations only will be permitted. So means 50% will be reduced and so your eyes are safe. Like that, the light which containing any one of the oscillations is called what here? Polarized light. Understood. If you eliminate any one of these oscillations, either these vertical oscillations, so how will you represent the polarized light? This is also a polarized light. You eliminated the horizontal oscillations. What is the name of this? Polarized light. This also what? What is this also? Polarized light. Understood? I am not permitted to transmit that vertical oscillations. So this is also light. Sometimes you cannot 100% polarize. Understood? 100% we cannot filter. Understood? Okay, that kind of light is called partial polarized light. Okay, can you ensure 100% you can remove vertical oscillations? Even though your efforts are perfect, sometimes you cannot achieve. That's what will happen? Uneven. What? Uneven number of vertical oscillations and horizontal oscillations existed. What the name of that light is called here? Partial polarized light. Understood? So now here we are going to study few important methods from your neat point of view, how to convert unpolarized light to polarized light. Let me introduce first method and important method, polarization due to reflection. What is this? Polarization due to reflection. Take any Polaroid glass slab. What is the name of this?
Polarized slab.
Why Manas? Why are you looking down? Writing. Why are you not keeping mobile phone over there? Mobile phone. I watched. See, you shown mobile also. Keep it there, okay? Go. Give it to me. Then what is that? Compass box. 100% I am correct. That mobile phone. See? Ma, if you lie means you have to lie perfectly. Lie. What else? Malus. Eyes never cheat. All Shanti madam. Caller.
சாப்பிட்டு இருப்பாங்க பக்கத்துல.
Okay, okay. Listen. Pooja. Okay, look here. What is the name of this? This is called a polarized glass slab. What is the role of this polarized glass slab? Due to reflection, it will filter. I mean, it will change the unpolarized light that is extended to polarized light. For example, look here. This one, ordinary light is falling. Ordinary light means what here?
Both polarized.
Both oscillations are there. Both vertical oscillations as well as
Horizontal.
horizontal oscillations will present. Let's say I will draw the normal line. What is this angle here? Angle of incidence how much? 8 degree. When you have to change this angle of incidence at one particular angle of incidence, what will happen? The reflection, the reflected ray. The reflected ray, what will happen? Fully polarized. Means this vertical oscillations completely they are missing. Only the horizontal oscillations only will be present. Here, according to laws of reflection, what will happen here? The angle of incidence must and should be equal to angle of reflection. As I have told you, this is the transparent slab. Partially light will be reflected and partially light will be refracted back also into the medium. So it will be like this. It will enter like this. When this polarization happens, for all angle of incidences, polarization will not happen. At a specific angle of incidence only, polarization will happen. When this angle between the reflected ray and refracted ray exactly 90 degrees, then only the polarization phenomena you will be noticing. What is the condition here? Angle between reflected ray and refracted ray, how much must and should be compulsory? 90 degrees. Then only in the reflected ray, 100% light will be polarized. Refracted ray also polarized, but partially polarized. It will be like this. How do you represent the partially polarized light? Uneven number of vertical oscillations and horizontal oscillations you have to represent. Let's say this is a normal line. What is this angle of refraction? Small r. Let's say the refractive index of this glass slab, how much here? Mu. Shall I use the Snell's law here? What is Snell's law? 1 into sin I is equal to mu into sin r. I can write. I can write 1 into how much? Sin of I is equal to how much? Mu into sin of r. Understood. So I can also write this is r means this is 90. So what is this angle here? 90 minus r. This 90 minus r means what is this angle? R only na? Understood? Means this I plus r should be 90 degrees only na? Yes or no? Everyone clear na? So you can write I plus r equal to how much here? 90 degree. So what is the angle of incidence equal to? 90 minus small r. So substitute here. So what I can write here? Sin of 90 minus r is equal to how much? Into sin of r. Sin of 90 minus r value how much here? Cosine of r. Any small doubt is also there, you have to stop me immediately. Okay, that is called how much mu into sin of r. So what is mu can be written as? You can also write r value how much here? Instead of r value, I can also replace with 90 minus I also, no? No problem, no? I plus r equal to 90 degree. Then r value how much? 90 minus I also I can write now. To substitute this sin r, if you send that side, what do you get? Cot of r. Cosine by sin equal to how much? Cot. This is also called Brewster law. It is equal to how much? Cot of r is also called Brewster law. And r can be written as what here? 90 minus I. So substitute here. So what do you get? Is equal to cot of 90 minus I. So mu is equal to how much? Tan of I. This angle of incidence is called angle of polarization. When the ordinary light exactly falling at this angle, then only polarization taking place. What the I value is called here? Angle of incidence is called angle of polarization. That is equal to how much here? Tan inverse of mu. This is called very important law, that is Brewster's law. Brewster's law. The point clear here. Okay. So for every angle of incidence, polarization will not take place. Only if the angle of incidence exactly tan inverse of mu. Now tell me, if the glass slab mu is equal to 1.5, what angle of incidence ordinary light should fall for occurring of polarization? Directly I can write. But angle of polarization, the angle of incidence must should be tan inverse of 1.5 like that. Yes, sir. That is called Brewster angle also. It's called Brewster angle also. Brewster angle. Brewster angle. And it is also called as angle of polarization also. Angle of what here? Polarization. Everyone have to remember on your. This is the one of the very important method. Polarization due to reflection and polarization due to refraction. This is two methods of it. If you refilter the transmitted light, if you want to filter 100%, from the transmitted light, if you want to obtain 100% polarized light, what you have to do? One more glass slab you have to keep. So in the emitted light, 100% polarized light will obtain. Understood? So let me introduce one more method. Polarizers. For example, what is a polarizer? Polarizers are like the benzene shape, hexagonal shape, and they are having one vertical slit. Vertical slit will be there. Vertical slit in the sense when ordinary light is falling. Ordinary light is having how many kinds of oscillations? Vertical oscillations and horizontal oscillations. It does not permit this dots. Dots means like this now, those oscillations are like this. How they will enter into this vertical slit? So only it will permit vertical oscillations only. For suppose the polarized light is like this. For suppose the oscillations are like this, And if the polarizer is like this, is the polarizer, then the electric field oscillations are like this, and the vertical slit is like this. Let's say these oscillations are, as I told you, these are vertical oscillations are electric field oscillations. What is the maximum value of electric field or peak value of electric field? E naught. Let's say with the vertical slit, this vertical plane is obtaining some angle theta. For this slant incidence, what is the name of this incidence? Inclined incidence or slant incidence. How much fraction of component is coming out? E naught can be split into how many components? Tell me. That's what. One is E naught cosine of theta, and other one is what? E naught sine of theta. I mean, when this electric field oscillation is falling on it, it will be permitting only E naught cosine theta. Right or not? So here I can write one relation. The electric field, which is polarized component, shall I write directly proportional to E naught cosine of theta? Yes or no? For any inclined instance. You know, this is a peak amplitude. I mean, the light which is coming out is having only vertical oscillations. All these horizontal oscillations will be obstructed by this polarizer. So the amplitude or electric field in the polarized light, how much? Proportional to E naught cosine theta. Now you tell me what is the intensity of this polarized light? Everyone knows intensity of polarized light how much? K into A square only, na? Yes or no? So I can write intensity of this polarized light how much? K into this E square. Yes or no? So I can also write intensity of the polarized light or partially polarized light. Put how much? K into E value how much here? E naught into cosine of theta and whole square. So intensity of the polarized light or unpolarized light how much? K into E naught square into cosine square theta. I don't need to introduce what is this. This is the intensity of the light that is incidented. Yes or no? This K into E naught square is nothing but intensity of the incidented ordinary light or intensity of the unpolarized light before incidenting on this polarizer. Understood? So I can generalize one statement. What is the intensity of the polarized light right now? This is the polarizer. How the vertical slit will be? It will be like this. And this is the unpolarized light. Its peak value E naught. Vertical, how much angle is making? Theta. The transmitted light, I mean the polarized light, only you will see only this vertical oscillations only, na? Yes or no? If the intensity of this unpolarized light is I naught means directly now you can tell what the intensity of this transmitted light. This method is called polarization by using transmission. We have seen polarization by using reflection, polarization by using refraction. Now polarization by using transmission via polarizer. What is the intensity of this polarized light or partially polarized light? I naught into cosine square theta. It's a very important law. That is what? Malus law. The name of that? Malus law or law of malus. Direct questions. In wave optics, questions are coming means top preference from Young's double slit experiment, then second preference from Malus law, then third preference from brewster angle, then fourth one resolving power, fifth one air disk, etc. Understood? Okay. Now we will have some situations here. For example, I am taking one polarizer. Every polarizer is having one vertical slit. If you imagine one line passing through this vertical slit is called what here? Axis of polarization. Understood? So if unpolarized light is falling, unpolarized light means UPL. UPL means ordinary light or unpolarized light. Let's say the intensity is I naught. Now everyone respond. The transmitted light, what fraction of light will come? Very good, I naught by 2. Why? 50% of this horizontal oscillations are completely obstructed by this polarizer. Understood? Only vertical oscillations are permitted. Yes or no? So in the transmitted light, only you have to draw. Only what you have to draw? Only have to draw the vertical oscillations. And what are those intensities? Compulsory 50% are absented. Again, if you keep one second polarizer like this inclinedly, if you keep axis of polarizer, the vertical line, let's say it is making some angle theta. Now tell me again, all components are not permitted. Only what components alone permitted? Only the components along the axis of polarizer. What the name of this axis is called? Axis of polarizer only will be permitted. So how will you draw this? Like this we have to draw. Because only inclined components only will be permitted. Now tell me what the intensity of this? Intensity of this transmitted light. What is the formula? According to law of malus, I naught into cosine square theta. But I naught value how much? Angle of incidence is not I naught. I naught by 2. So we have to substitute what here? I naught by 2 into cosine square theta. Okay. So like this, direct questions will come. Again, here also, if you keep one more, you want to introduce one more polarizer, you can use here also. Third polarizer also, you can continue if you wish. Like that, by using law of malus, transmitted light intensity, learn how to calculate. Here I am extending discussion with the two polarizers only, but in your situations, numericals, you may have 3 polarizers, 4 polarizers also. So point clear? Okay, so that is all about the polarization process. Okay, give me one material, some questions I will give. Yesterday, only 3 students submitted that error report. What about others? Huh? Yesterday problems completed, huh? Yesterday problem, day before yesterday problem completed, huh? Once you take out, I will check. Who did not do honestly, voluntarily, please stand. Everybody, take out your homework. Everyone done? Everyone. Everyone done now? Seriously? What theta, madam? Why? Not accept. Pivot formula.
Small d.
The manual formula. Then how I should why are you cheating? Teacher, how you teach a teacher, ordinary teacher, to teach a teacher, to teach a teacher now in the next birth, you will born as a blind person. No, no. If you cheat your teacher, next birth you will become a blind person.
Right?
Difference between nth point and midpoint. Neet exam also is distance between midpoint of the screen and nth right point. Not telling you unknown distance, rising distance, the rise, the best also I want my body. I do not accept any. Upset means you have to do more work. Elma, how I can make you merit coded objects? You tell me. Huh? You are not doing problems like that. What should I do? 15 problems, if you, what shall I tell me? That's saying something. You Arshit, completed, huh? Tell me friendship formula. Will tell when shifted due to film.
B into mu minus 1 into
Next week you should in the estimate average 519. See your marks are also 519. Yesterday, gold means the you and me equal age. Sit. Sit. Please don't use your own strategies. Just do what we say. That's all. Understood? Understood? Our instructions are correct. Don't use your DAFA methods. So it will which will spoil your target. Okay. Clear? We will tell do this work. Just to do. That's all. Without doing, don't take food. Don't sleep. After work is completing only, eat food and go to bed. That's all. You won't complete the work, you not deserved to sleep or do your daily activities. Understood? Okay. Everyone, don't do that patchworks or backlogs. Concentrate on the CPT only. So you can increase your average. Understood? You will be confident. Your parents will be happy. You will be happy. Our management also will happy. Next time, Srinivas, you are 519, your cutoff is 520. Means at least this week, at least you have to score, if I am not wrong, 560, 570 like that. Your average will increase by 1 mark. Understood? Okay, you also, who are nearing by 20 marks, mark, your estimate average. 20, 30 marks who are very near. 4 students are there. Are you watching your average?
Yes, sir.
Then you are 25 marks only, no ma? 30, 30. Then you have to get every test year after 600. Then only your average will increase. 600, 620 like that. In front of you, terrible target is there. Bharati. You also know, I also know. Understood? You are MBC, na? 520 only. Okay. Your average is 517. Your average you are remembering or not, I don't know, but I will remember. 517, na, your average. Okay. So please work seriously, no time. Understood? Because when light is there only we have to set our house. When light is gone, nothing you can set. Understood? Still time is there. Understood? Increase your focus on the increasing average. Work seriously. Manas and Co. If you now you are laughing. Understood? On July 17th, understood? If you society will laugh. Understood? Don't bring that situation. Okay? You have to laugh. Understood? July, August, you have to come here on the dais as a winners. Understood? I have to introduce. This is my student. They worked hard like that. I have to introduce. Are you understanding? It is not easy. It come with the hard work only. Okay. Okay, friends. So evening I will give the. Thank you. Take 5 minutes break. Thank you.